INFJ, let's not sugarcoat it. You were never meant to fit. Not into their shallow circles, not into their half-hearted conversations, not into their idea of who you should be. You weren't built for small talk or surface-level anything. You're deep water in a world of puddles. Ever wonder why you feel like you're watching life happen through a two-way mirror? Like you're in it, but never of it? There's a reason for that. You are the sacred outsider, the intuitive warrior. The hybrid that doesn't make sense on paper, but somehow sees through the veil everyone else pretends isn't there. And let's be real for a second, being this awake in a world that profits off distraction, it's not easy, it's spiritual whiplash. You feel everything. You see too much. You crave truth so badly it physically hurts to fake anything, but you still do it, don't you? You shrink. You nod, you disappear just enough to stay safe. You've mastered the art of not rocking the boat until the silence starts to drown you. So what do? You become something else, something rarer. You become Sigma. The Sigma INFJ is a paradox. Fiercely independent, quietly observing, soulfully detached, yet endlessly loyal. You don't play their games, but you damn well know how to win them if you wanted to. You just opt out. And it's time we talked about that. Because being a Sigma INFJ isn't a performance, it's a survival tactic. It's how you navigate a world that's allergic to depth. So buckle up, soul traveler. We're about to uncover the 6 ways you've been surviving under the radar. Not for validation, but for reclamation. This is your mirror, your reminder, your map. Drop a comment below if something cracks you open. Share your story, and subscribe if you want more content that speaks straight to your nervous system. Let's begin. 1. What is a Sigma INFJ? You're not just rare, you're an enigma in human form. A walking contradiction, a paradox wrapped in intuition and cloaked in calm. You crave soul-deep connection like it's air, but damn, you've built fortress-thick walls to survive a world that doesn't know what to do with your kind of depth. You long to be seen, truly seen, yet the moment someone gets too close, you vanish, mentally, emotionally, sometimes physically. Not out of malice, out of self-preservation. Sigma INFJs aren't just introverts who need alone time. You're the kind of soul who walks into a room and absorbs everything, every micro-expression, every hidden intention, every fragmented energy hanging in the air like smoke. You feel like a sponge in a flood, taking on more than most people even notice. But your own emotions? Those you lock behind fireproof doors, guarded like ancient treasure, because you've learned not everyone deserves access to your kingdom. You don't chase popularity. You don't play status games. You'd rather be misunderstood than manipulated. You play nice, but you don't play dumb. You walk through life like a spiritual sniper, still, quiet, lethal with insight. You see through bullshit faster than people can speak it. And you don't always call it out, you just step back and let people reveal themselves. Sigma INFJs are the lone wolves of the MBTI spectrum. Not because you hate people, but because you've paid the price of trusting too early, too much, too often. You learned the hard way that kindness gets mistaken for weakness, empathy gets weaponized, and loyalty gets used like currency in a rigged game, so now, you love in silence, you care in secret, you disappear before you get destroyed. You speak truth, but only to those who can handle it. You are both lighthouse and shadow, both healer and ghost, both sanctuary and warning. You weren't made to fit in. You were made to shift entire landscapes with your presence, quietly, strategically, powerfully. Tell me, my INFJ friend, when was the last time you ghosted a room without ever physically leaving it? What did you sense that made you fold back into your own mind? Tell me in the comments. 2. Strategic ignorance, the art of silent knowing. You're so quiet. Yeah, they always say that. But they never ask what you're actually hearing behind that silence. They don't see how your mind dissects tone, timing, motive, how you catch the twitch in someone's smile, the delay in their eyes, the story that doesn't line up. They think you're passive, distracted. Hell, some even think you're naive. But here's the secret. You're not ignoring the bullshit. You're cataloging it. Strategic ignorance isn't about being unaware. It's about choosing not to show your hand before they show theirs. You've learned the hard way. Calling someone out doesn't always wake them up. Sometimes it just paints a target on your back. So now you let people expose themselves in their own time. You know how to keep your face still, your voice steady, while your gut screams the truth. You let them talk, you nod. You say, but inside? You're filing the data, connecting dots, reading the subtext like it's screaming in neon. You could burn down the whole illusion with a single sentence. But you don't. Because wisdom has taught you something far more powerful than confrontation: restraint. You know, energy is currency, and you're not handing yours to people who haven't earned the right to hold it. You're not arguing for your insight anymore. You're not begging to be believed. You've made peace with being underestimated because silence lets you move without resistance. Because still waters, they drown deeper. You're not clueless, you're precise. You're not checked out, you're 10 steps ahead. You're not scared of conflict, you're just not wasting your fight on fools. You've mastered the art of quiet knowing, of giving people just enough rope and letting the story tell itself. Because INFJ, your silence isn't empty. It's loaded. Tell me now, how many times have you bitten your tongue, not out of fear, but out of power? When have you pretended not to notice, just to see what they'd do when they thought you weren't watching? 3. Attention evasion, mastering the invisibility cloak. You could steal the damn spotlight if you wanted to. But most days, you'd rather become air, present, essential, but unnoticed. This isn't insecurity, it's instinct. INFJ, you've learned that attention has a cost. That visibility isn't always safety, it's exposure. And when you feel everything like a lightning rod in a thunderstorm, you start picking your moments like a sniper picks a shot. You disappear, not because you're broken, but because silence is how you recalibrate. You vanish from the noise so you can hear your own soul again. You've mastered the art of presence without pressure. You know how to make yourself small in rooms full of loud egos. Not out of fear, but because you're conserving your essence like sacred fire. You have felt the burnout of giving too much to people who mistook your glow for free light. So now, you go ghost while still standing in plain sight. You're not the center of the room, but you're the one watching all its corners. Not the loudest voice, but the one people remember at 2 a.m. when the noise dies and truth echoes. You blend not because you can't stand out, but because you're choosing not to perform. You know the difference between connection and consumption. And damn it, you're done being consumed. When you retreat, you don't disappear, you expand inward. You meet yourself in that quiet space where no one is asking for pieces of you. You don't avoid attention because you're fragile. You avoid it because you're sacred, and sacred things, they don't need validation to prove their worth. What part of you blooms in solitude when no one's watching, asking, pulling, needing? What magic have you hidden not out of shame but as an act of protection? 4. Sherlock mode, observing without getting caught. You don't just watch people. You read them like ancient manuscripts written in invisible ink, a twitch in the jaw, the breath that skips a beat, the moment their words betray their energy. Sigma INFJ, you're not paranoid. You're just tuned in to what most people work overtime to ignore. While the world's busy with surface games, you're 3 layers deep, collecting data in silence, building patterns in your mind like a living map of human contradiction. You catch things people don't even know they're showing. That look in their eyes when their story shifts. The fake laugh that hides a cracked soul. The passive dig camouflaged in politeness, and the wild part. You clock all of it while keeping your own cards close to your chest. You ask the kind of questions that sound like small talk but peel skin off armor. You let them talk, let them brag, let them lie. All the while, you're archiving truth in the vault behind your eyes. You are not passive, you are perceptive. You are not overthinking, you are overseeing. You don't confront to control, you observe to understand. And you've learned the hard way, just because you can see through someone doesn't mean they're ready to see themselves. You watch, you let them hang themselves with their own narrative, so you wait. You don't need to expose anyone, you just stop giving them access to your light. Tell me, ever predicted someone's betrayal before they even realized they were going to betray you? And very few get access. Why? Because you've been burned, manipulated, misunderstood. So now, you make them earn it. INFJs are natural empaths, yes, but Sigma INFJs, they're selective ones. What did you do with that knowing? Did you speak it? Or did you carry it in silence like a psychic wound? My book, Get Out of Your Head: How to Stop Your Inner Critic, is your guide back to truth. We dive deep into what that voice really is, how to dismantle it, and how to reclaim your mental sovereignty. 5. Fortress Mind: Guarding the Inner World. Your thoughts are sacred territory. You give pieces of yourself in careful rations. You'd rather be misunderstood than disrespected. If your inner critic is still whispering lies, it's time to silence that voice. In it, I walk you through how to rewire your self-talk, break free from fear and limiting beliefs, cultivate clarity, courage, and calm. It's raw, it's practical, and it's for empaths, sensitives, and INFJs ready to stop bleeding energy and start living boldly. Grab your copy on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, or audiobook. The link is in the description below. You deserve more than survival. You deserve liberation. 6. Authenticity tests. Let's be honest. You don't hand out trust like samples at the grocery store. Not because you're cold, but because you've been burned. By charm that soured, by smiles that bit. You'll walk alone. You'll ghost entire timelines until the energy feels right. By people who said, "You're safe here," then used your softness as a weapon. So you test subtly, quietly, strategically. You'll drop a raw truth mid-conversation just to see if they flinch. You'll go still, not to punish, but to observe, watching what they do with silence when they can't perform anymore. You ask yourself, can they sit in the discomfort of depth? Can they hold space when you crack instead of shine? Can they love the whole of you, not just the parts that serve them? Because you don't want perfection. You want presence, realness, resonance, reciprocity, and you'll wait. It's not pride, it's protection. You've seen what happens when you give sacred parts of yourself to people who only want souvenirs. So, yeah, you test, and it's not a game. It's a survival instinct, hiding in plain sight. When was the last time someone passed the test? Did they stay? Or did they prove that not everyone is ready for what's real? If this cracked something open in you, if you felt seen, heard, or held, then this space was made for you. Drop a comment. Tell me your INFJ Sigma survival tactic. Which one hit like truth in your chest? Have you been playing dumb on purpose? Hiding in plain sight? Reading the room like a damn psychic? Share your story below. Someone out there needs your mirror. And if you want more content that doesn't just entertain, but excavates the real shit underneath the roles you've been playing, hit that subscribe button. You're not too much, you're just too real for most. Own it. Protect it. Walk with it like the holy fire it is.